Alright, timestamp is April 22nd, 2026. It's a little bit after 7 a.m. I got up a few hours ago. I'm probably going to do a short or two that make sense, and I'm going to go back down for a nap. I got up early, trying to work out a collaboration with my girl because we want to get into the attic, pull the boxes of what we think are Christmas decorations and ornaments out. And we don't want to do attic work at noon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon in Florida, because it might get warm. Doing some Harry and David breakfast blend. X-Doodle. Hello, my friend. You okay? Someone up on the, Kaiser is perched up on the food. Jump on his head. Yeah. That's what you gotta do. We keep the food bowl on top of the dryer so that the doggos don't get to it. We've got another smaller bowl kind of nestled back in a corner so that Janus can get to it because he can't really jump. And my guy, this guy right here, X-Doodle, my 7-toed tuxedo. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Yeah, you're gonna act all cool. Kaiser, Tiny's old man cat, likes to lay on top of the dryer, basically like guarding the food bowl. And then this guy right here winds up very distressed because he wants to get at the food. Yeah, I know, it's upsetting. He wants to get at the food, and there's an old man cat, like, laying in the landing zone. I'm telling you, just, number one, you are so graceful you could jump around him, and I know that. And number two, if you jump on him once or twice, you know, it's a learning lesson, pal. He's an old man, but he can learn, hey, if I lay here, I get jumped on. Maybe I should pick a different location. It's a thought. I think it's good advice. Will Kaiser think it's funny? Obviously, no. Will everyone else? Yeah. Yeah, you go, boy. No, really, go. Get some food. Not sure if I'm shedding or he's shedding. Probably a little of both. Felt like a weird tickle on my arm. Like, could be man hair. But yeah, I'm droopy. But I gotta. Pix and I are using. Yeah, we're feeling a little wily. Pix and I have taken to using the. For some reason, my computer's allergic to Discord, but we can do Steam Messenger. We found that if we text each other, because we're both kind of on high alert with everything going on, the text tends to like jar us awake. So for non-emergency stuff, because we never know what the other person's schedule is going to be, it's just kind of not cool. I don't know how many times I've woken her up or she's woken me up, and it's been, a nothing burger. It's been a hey, next time you order from Walmart, get cat food or something like that. And it's like, meanwhile, I'm sitting up on the couch going, oh, okay, is everything okay? You know, it just doesn't work out well. So we're using Steam Messenger, and I got up and came over to my computer. It's kind of one of the first things I do. Take a drag off the scar, coffee, what have you, kind of try and, after the cat parade, try and figure out what the hell I'm doing. And I had a note basically saying that she was dealing with the Cat Olympics while she was trying to sleep, because she has Stevie and Luther there. And any and all efforts to sleep were thwarted. So maybe we'll try this again, because she was going to try and get here like 4 in the morning, so we could just start, nice cool evening, just start plowing into the attic. So that's a me here. You get something, or just walking away in disgust? Yeah, go watch Doctor Who. I'll be in a while. So, yeah, she called out on me. We did get to spend some time yesterday together. She was grumpy pants. There's a great song from the musical Scrooge, which, if you're not familiar with it, if you've guessed that it's a musical version of A Christmas Carol, you're right. And I think it's his first song in the show. It's basically leaving the office and heading home, dealing with the wonderful street life of London, and everybody's in a celebratory mood because Christmas is coming, And the song it's a very, very lovely romantic ballad. Very sentimental, called I Hate People. So frequently, because we both at least somewhat know the show, it's a show that I'd love to do. That's actually one of the parts that I'd like to play before. Yeah, before that. Trying to breathe coffee. I'm not dying. I hope. It's on my bucket list of parts to play. I'm fascinated with the character Scrooge. It's just a really neat transitive character. Transitive character, if you're not familiar with the term, is a character that radically changes through the course of the story. Luke Skywalker is a transitive character. He changes from whiny farm boy to very assertive Jedi Knight. Han Solo is really a transitive character in that he changes from, a smuggler with very little scruples, morality, a little bit, but not a whole lot, to someone fighting for a cause. Princess Leia, not really a transitive character. She doesn't really change in her arc. She, when we meet her, is pretty much who she still is. You know what I mean? Chewbacca doesn't really change. I mean, he fights for the rebels, but I don't know that it's a huge change in his character. He seems to already be, kind of a champion for the underdog in a way. If you know some of the Wookiee background, you might follow along my line of thinking there. Scrooge, very transitive character. Like Holy Cat's transitive character. And I've always been fascinated, people say, you're being a real Ebenezer Scrooge. And to me, because I read A Christmas Carol pretty much every year, usually November, December. I'm a big fan of the work. You're being a Scrooge, and it's like, well, Which part? Which aspect? You know what I mean? Because he's very different on page 1 than he is page 180. He does a 180, you know. Remembers who he used to be before avarice, apathy. But yeah, so on days like that, we almost do sort of sing-alongs in the car of that song. I hate people. You know, it's a thing. So she was in an I hate people mood. I swear she's actually really nice, but she can get really overwhelmed socially. And yesterday was one of those days where she went into the day knowing, nope. So she was Captain Grumpy Pants. We had some sales to drop off, which is a good thing. Yay, go team. Exactly. A few things. I went into Aldi solo because I hate people. And I'm very rarely that way. I like my solitude. I do, but I'm pretty even-keeled on that. I know a lot of people are like, oh, you're an extrovert. There's actually a test that you can take. There's always a psychology test, right? And it tests for A-type people, B-type people. A, if you hear, you're a type A, that's extrovert. Type B is an introvert. There's actually a type C, which that's a more recent, like within the past 20 years, not, since the test developed. A type C, which is called hardy, Hardy, and it's someone who kind of walks both lines. And I want to say you have to be within like 10%, because typically the test is like 20 questions, each one's worth 5 points. Like picks might be 80% introvert, 20% extrovert as far as the way she answers questions, which that would pretty strongly make her an introvert. And I think it was like 70-30 when she took it. It was pretty strong lean toward introverted. But mine was like 55-45. Extrovert, introvert. When you're within that 10%, 60-40, whatnot, you're considered hardy, which is you're a little bit of both. So I do lean extrovert, but there's still that 45% of me that's more than content to just lock the door and say, y'all go away. I got a good book over here. I got some video games. I want no part of it. So I do get in those moods every now and then, but not often. I can usually at least be around people without wanting to strangle them. Depending on where I am, I guess would be a good way to perhaps elaborate on that, because there are certain places where the strangulations seem to be in higher demand than in other places, Yeah. Depends on the ratio between dumb and smart people. How many dumb people are in this location? The strangulation rate varies wildly on this. It's kind of where I am on that. Yeah. Very basic breakfast blend, Harry and David, but a good coffee. I would say nom nom. I believe that is the correct term, scientifically. So, Pix came over yesterday, dropped off 10, 12 banker boxes of kitchen stuff. I'd already done a dishwasher load. It was drying. It should be done now. The dishwasher here takes like 5 hours to go through its full thing. I'm not used to that. I'm used to dishwashers when we had one that took like 2 hours. Is 5 hours extreme? It seems like it is. I don't know. It's been a while since we had one, but this is weird. You know, back at George, this was my dishwasher. This was my dish rack. It's all very Miyagi. But, yeah, I'd done a full thing of dishes. I made the black beans, and the sauce was red. That's why I'm like, red bean. Black beans and chicken. Had 2 red onions in there. There's red. Can of diced tomatoes. 3 no salt cans of black beans. Cut up a full green bell pepper and a full red bell pepper. It's probably like 4 pounds of chicken too, like chunks, whatnot. Oh yeah. Yeah, seconds were had, and there's still a big old thing of jasmine rice and more of said substance in fridge. So we'll be snacking on that for probably a day or two. It's a good problem to have. It's a good problem to have. And not real expensive, you know. Goes a long way, and it's got a lot of vitamins. I'm still not AI, by the way. I'm real something. So I've got, and I went through a couple of the plastic totes yesterday, because there were a couple of plastic latch tops with it too. Thrill can. And it's just crap we're not going to use, you know, and nasty. I got a whole bunch of plastic measuring cups and whatnot. You Tupperware? I don't know what you are. Well, yeah, I know you're a half teaspoon. China? Pizza cutter from Ice Age, I think. I'm not sure. Nasty. 3, 4, 5, 8. Okay, 8 banker boxes. I thought she said 10. She may have been counting the plastic totes. But it's mostly going to be plates and stuff. Some of our coffee mugs from George too. Okay, that'll be exciting. So what I'm thinking, because again, gave myself like 5 hours sleep, got up to the news that it's raining, and I was going to go to the playground today, you know. And that's okay. That's okay. We make our own schedule right now. Weird as it is. So I think I'm going to empty the dishwasher. I'm going to eat some breakfast. I need some yogurt in me at least. I've been up for a little while just playing video games, kind of, you know, chilling. Went to bed to Tom Baker's first episode, Robot, and woke up to the very end of Ark in Space, which I'm very surprised at Doctor Who Roku, a little impressed, proud even, because I want to say correct order is Ark in Space and then right into Genesis of the Daleks, because the way Ark in Space ends, it really does like kind of jump into Genesis of the Daleks if you watch them back to back. And they actually started up Genesis of the Daleks right after that. And I was like, okay, I think you actually, because they get really random sometimes, I'm like, I think you're actually playing them in order. Which, wow, okay. Cool. Cool. I'm not going to get used to it. I know better. But Cool. I heard the Peter Davison like theme. I always call it Peter Davison theme, even though they did start doing the more like electric guitar theme during like the last season of Tom Baker, but I always equate it to Davison in my head. Curious. It's Ramona 2, so it is the last season or two of Tom Baker. Because then they pick up Adric, Romana leaves, and then they pick up Nyssa, and then Tegan, and then Baker becomes Davison. In a nutshell. I'm that dork. Well, Adric's not on board yet. So, exactly. Before full circle. Beyond that, I'm not sure. I don't recognize it out of hand. Metros, maybe? I don't know. That wasn't enough for me to go on. I know, you're disappointed in me. I apologize. If it was Star Trek, I would have, like classic series, yeah. Show me like 20 seconds and I know what episode it is. And the title. Because, yes, I am that dork. And you know what? I still have friends. It can be done. It can be done. Yep. I'm not done with life, but I've had a pretty interesting life full of other people and not just mom's basement. Besides, I'm in Florida. We don't have basements here. Our basements are called swimming pools. And we have one of those here. Bear in mind, there is a very, very good-looking crop of tadpoles currently growing in ours. It's a nice, murky, kind of something between electric and olive green, depending on what area you look at. Hi-ho! You know, it's... If I leave a banjo out there, do you think one of them would spontaneously start playing and singing? Because we did find a banjo here, along with a bunch of guitars. Seriously. It's true. I know my dad wanted to learn to play, but I don't think he ever actually got around to doing it. I have the wrong hand shape, really. I know there are probably guitarists out there that'd be like, anybody can learn it. But I've got, like, not short, stubby fingers, but they're thick paws. And I'm sure there are thick-pawed guitarists out there, but I don't exactly have long fingers. I just have big meat hook. I had a boss that used to say that these were meat hooks. Still not sure how I feel about that. I don't know how to unpack that. I don't know. My library cart is done. think it looks spectacular. Get in some pretty good light. Hypothetically. Stepped on my dog's ear. That's not too bad. Remember what it looked like before? It was the black with the pink, light blue, and dark blue. And that break is barely visible, which is cool. And it seems pretty solid. The clear coat on top pretty much did what I thought I was going to do. I'm good at this. Basically helped seal it. Almost like something between paint and glue. So that is ready for the library. We did not go to Dollar Tree yesterday, so I did not get any more of the foam board. Just realized the wheel wasn't turning all that well. I think some paint got in there and like jammed it. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, much better. Paint is not a lubricant. No. There's a Scooby-Doo chase going on down the hallway. But yeah, it turned out pretty good. I am pleased. So yeah. Now return card for the library. I've got some magazines. I can put them like on the bottom shelf kind of thing. It'll work, trust me. As far as like random painting projects, keeping my promise, my kids don't want to be on camera, so. Oh yeah. So I've got those two-part. You're right there, Queenie. I know Tiny was here. I know. Tiny left the room, so if you're going for the whole pay attention to me thing, Queenie's obsessed with Tiny. It's like scary obsession. Like, was that meme, the overly attached girlfriend? It's like, yeah. So the lounge scene that I'm working on, or set, probably more appropriate, I'm utilizing the right halves of booths, but I wanted to make sure that I had the left side matching in case one day I reunite them. That way the colors aren't weirdly faded compared to the other set, etc., and it's matched because I had the same color and used the same color on both sets, you know. So I'm probably going to do the three left booths to completion, seal them, and then just pack them so that if I ever want to do like a diner or something like that, I've got 3 booths that are actually uniform. You know what I mean? So it won't be for display per se this second, but I'll have them so that I can later. I think this makes sense. Makes sense to me. I don't know. So I'm probably gonna, I don't have any other real like painting things at the moment, but from a casual standpoint, I'm gonna probably start doing those. Break those out, do the components, snap them together, epoxy, you know. Yeah. Because that, I mean, I want to do the backboards, but I can't do the backboards casually while at my desk watching a video or something. I need something in my hands. But yeah, no, if I'm from a painting project, that's something I can do right here. Do you understand? Good. But yeah, I'm probably gonna unload the dishwasher, reload the dishwasher, because I have stuff to go in it. Not really sure what Santa Pixie brought me, other than coffee mugs, I know that. There's a bunch of plastics in the sink that I pulled out of those 2 plastic clear tops. I threw away a lot of just rogue plastic stuff. One thing I did before I went to bed was kind of look through those. A lot of older stuff that we just don't use. We don't use it. So, not really much point to it. But there were some of the lids and whatnot that are actually part of what we actively do use, so I need to wash those. Some other bits and bobs that actually we do use, you know. There's a lid for one of my mixing bowls. One of the more standard, like, stainless steel mixing bowls. One of the lids was in that, and I'm like, oh, good, cool. That's useful. So, empty the dishwasher, reload the dishwasher. I'm gonna do some yogurt. Rumbly in my tumbly. Get the dishwasher going because it's going to take 5 hours to run. It's still very weird to me. It seems long. And maybe it's been so long since I had a dishwasher that I didn't ever notice that it normally does take that long. I don't feel like it used to, or that they did in the past. I'm not going to ask if I'm crazy because that answer's kind of easy. It's low-hanging fruit, softball question, whatever you want to call it. But it's very, very weird. But take a nap, and when I get up, it'll be ready to be unloaded. Hypothetically, I may still have to wait. I hate waiting. Empty those boxes, and there's quite a few things that can go in already prepped banker boxes, so they won't be hanging out in the dining room just as empty boxes for long at all. I have things I can do with them. You know, just hand her some more broken down, unassembled banker boxes and reload. She says she's got another 20, 30 boxes ready to come over here, but she's just going to be doing it like a carload at a time to not kill us here and not kill her back there, which I agree with everything in that statement. So we're starting to get into a rhythm of things, which is good, and continuing to get our 1 brick progress, all that. From a health check, I got some lingering anxiety feelings, but if you know the situation with my dad, this is why texts and the phone ringing wakes me up very quickly. I know what to expect, I don't know when to expect it, which is to say, I expect it at all times. That will only stop when I do get that phone call, because it'll be the last time, There's not a damn thing I can do about that. Yay. Oh yeah, she said one of those boxes had, like, most of my spices from George, too. She kept a few things that she'll be using periodically, but most of it she won't, because she's not really cooking, per se. She's got a couple things that she can kind of whip out. She's not cooking, she's going pretty bare bones, trying to get everything here, which that is the correct procedure. That's what we need to do, because we're going to be scuttling that house. So past 3 years have been weird. The next year or two is still going to be weird. You know? We're hoping to sell George by the end of the year. It's probably doable, because we have 2 interested parties in the neighborhood. So that's a nice head start. It's cool. We've got good problems in that respect. There's a lot to do, but we've gotten a lot done, so I'm going to get to it. I'm going to have some yogurt and empty a dishwasher and reload a dishwasher and watch some Doctor Who with my cat until I drift off for a nap. It's like a Dr. Seuss book. The Cat and the Nap. I think that was it. Do we need a goldfish for that one? They don't know. Go back to sleep, Acorn. Alright. Then go ahead and call it here. Still not AI. I'm willing to bet AI is going to look at my videos and go, okay, people say that we're crazy. What is this? So, Santa. It's my dog. His name isn't Santa. I think that's a Simpsons thing. What, Corey? Hug your parents. Hug your kids. Hug your dog. It's Acorn. That's my butt. Oh my. You gotta buy me dinner. Yeah, you do. Alright. I'm not sure what this guy has in mind. Make it a great day.